Joining us now to talk more about GM's new CEO is Bill George. He's the former CEO of Medtronic and a professor of management at Harvard's Business School, where, interestingly, Mary Barra last summer took part in a class Bill taught on global leaders. Bill, always great to see you. So what's Mary Barra like, and what kind of leader is she likely to be?
She's a very genuine, authentic leader. She's going to be a great team builder. I spent a whole week with her in the classroom at our Leading Global Businesses course last summer, and I'm very high on Mary. Also, her colleague Dan Amman was there. Dan stepped up to president, so they're going to make a great team, Tyler. I'm very enthused, and I give Dan Ackerson and the board a lot of credit for building an inside team. You know, Ed Whitaker and Dan came in and really turned the company around. But now you have the inside team coming in, much like Sam Palmisano and Ginny Rometty did in following Lou Gerstner. So I think you're going to see great cars coming out of GM. Mary is an engineer. She's been leading the car design, demanding better cars, looking for a world car that can cover Europe and China as well as the U.S., and I think you're going to see that share growing in the years to come.
Well, as Dan Ackerson just said, Bill, in that package that Phil LeBeau did, he said that she was picked for her talent, not her gender, but she's going to be watched very carefully because she is a woman at an auto company. So as a leadership expert, what would you say, what advice can you give her of do's and don'ts?
Well, the first thing I'd say is make sure you got the right people on the bus. I was glad to see Mark Royce, a longtime GM vet, also stepping into her old job in product development. Because if you don't have the products, you're not going to be successful. And so get the right team around you, and a diverse team, which they're already doing, and I'm very pleased with that. Then keep the vision very clear ahead that we've got to have the best cars in the world. We want to have cars that are good at the low end, at the high end, and like a Cadillac, and all the trucks where there's a lot of money there. But have the full range of cars and to ensure that. But beyond that, I think she's got to have that long-term view and stay the course to compete with any car in the world, the Japanese, the Germans, the Koreans, on cost, on quality, and on design. And I think that's the new General Motors. In the old days, they were letting that market share slip to make short-term money. So it's got to be a long-term picture. And the one advice I'd say is don't get thrown off track by a lot of people pulling you into short-term decisions.
You know, you've just finished, I'm told, a case study on the comeback of the auto business, including most notably perhaps General Motors. So you know this business and the challenges that GM faces inside and out. The saying is that a CEO is never stronger than in his or her first 100 days. What would you tell her to concentrate on in those first 100 days specifically?
Get the vision and the strategy right, get the team right, and make sure you got the right product plan, Tyler. And my great fear for Mary is that, you know, they're having a great year this year. They're plus double digits, I think 14% in November. Things are up and away right now. But they got to make those long-term investments. We had the head of General Motors China in a different class last week, and they've got to make big investments in China. That's going to be a huge market. They got to get the European thing right. They got to have a strategy in each of those and need the right leaders in those areas. And but don't get pulled off course. Say there's a recession and say the number of cars sold goes down. It'll happen. It's happened for decades. You've got to stay the course, make the investments. In the past, GM has always pulled back during those difficult times.
All right, Bill, thank you very much. Bill is a former CEO of Medtronic and professor of management at Harvard's Business.